Well, good afternoon, everybody. I make that 3 o'clock. My name is Laurie Beagle. I'm Managing Director at Forums International. And welcome to our next webinar with our corporate partners, Esker. Good afternoon, Ed.
Good afternoon, Laurie.
Anyway, I hope everybody is well, if you're working from home or from working from the office. So thank you very much for joining us. We're going to start off by me taking you through a few slides regarding Forums International and what we're looking to do in 2020. Then I'm going to hand over to Ed, and he's going to do 7 tips for enhancing the customer experience with AR automation. Just to let you know that we are recording this, so there will be a recording available in a few days' time on our website. And if you have any questions, please, you see the chat box at the bottom, just put them in that chat box, and then what we'll do, we'll pick up those at the end. As you can see from the next slide, well, it's very topical, so coronavirus. So as I said, hope everybody is well. And from Forums International perspective, this is business as usual for us. We are running all of our forums now virtually, and so we're running them via Zoom. And a couple of weeks ago, we did our first one. We were supposed to have been in Madrid, but Spain was closed, and all of our attendees who were coming in from all over the world were told they couldn't travel. So we did it via Zoom, and it was very, very successful. And we had people from Canada, USA, across Europe and the UK, and everybody was able to participate, and we were able to see them and hear them. So that looks as if it's the way it's going to go, certainly for the next few months, and hopefully not too long into the future. So, right. So some of you, I noticed some of the names of the people that have joined us today probably don't know Forums International. So I'd like to just give you a bit of a quick canter through who we are. Forums International started in 2015, so not that long ago, but we actually have been running forums since 1991. Our oldest forum is 29 years old, and it's held its 161st meeting. So, so that's the granddaddy of them all, if you like. So it's the forums are there for running for professionals to meet and discuss their key challenges, share experiences, create new and best practices, and most importantly, to discuss how to succeed in the future. It's open to credit and finance professionals of all levels, and we only have pre-approved corporate partners, so it's not an opportunity for people to come and sell to you directly. We're very, very proud of the corporate partners we have that who support us, and as you can see from that slide, I won't go through them all, but and we're also a corporate partner of the CICM, so some very important names, and well, they're all important to us. Okay, the objectives, of course there are many, but this is not an exhaustive list, but the objectives of the forums are network with peers, have access to subject matter experts, and we have some very, very good ones of those who have been supporting us over the years, and some come back on many occasions, to gain new tools and techniques, increase and enhance personal skill levels. So there is the technical side, and there's also the personal side. Gather information and intelligence at some of our forums as well, so we are exchanging information, which hopefully will help allay bad debt. One thing that's very important to us is developing new and best practices to keep pace with businesses as they face their challenges in the new world. Improve a team's productivity and results. So hopefully these are always things that you can take back to the office and implement there. as I say, this is not an exhaustive list. It can go on and on and on. Now, our mission, we've just a few bullet points on our mission for 2020. Firstly, to work and develop the credit professional of the future. In fact, we just held a round table the other week on that very subject, and talked about millennials and their effect on the future, and also how technology is going to play a bigger part as we move forward. As we said, we are corporate partners with the CICM, and I'm a fellow, and we want to continue to support the CICM in everything they do going forward. I mentioned best practice earlier, but to build those best practice credit management procedures, to keep pace with and support business growth. Work with credit folk of all levels who have a passion for their profession. I certainly do. And also to educate those who say they are too busy to learn. So I won't go into that too far. So it's 2020 for us. We are now virtual. As I mentioned earlier, it's something that we need to do. We're running this year a lot of events on top of our forums, including some events with the CICM. We've already had one roundtable already, but we've got some others planned, and with also some workshops. And we're doing monthly webinars as well. So this is one with one of our key partners. We are also introducing some new membership opportunities and incentives, which I think are quite, some of them, the incentives are going to be quite good fun, especially if you like football. We're also introducing, it is in place at the moment, but we're actually bringing it more to the fore. So there's an information hub which can be used by the members 24/7, so you can communicate with the other members of your forum or across all of the forums. So there's always somebody to ask if you've got a question. We've brought on some new corporate partners as well, Peakon, and one of them for our SAP user group. And we're putting the international back into Forums International. So working more and more with international companies and companies abroad as we move forward. Just a little list of our forums. I'm not going to go through them all, but I think there are about 10 there, I think. And so from the Best Practice Forum through to Fraud Prevention Network, which we do with Graydon, to the SAP user group, which is one of our fastest growing forums. And that's been going since, would you believe, 1998. So. Well, I won't read all of the testimonials either, just perhaps highlight a couple. Great day, Laurie, really thought-provoking. Meeting was a great way to network, share experiences, and get up-to-date information. This was probably the best one I have been to, and all subjects were very relevant. So all very, very good feedback, and feedback to us is very, very important to help us build for the future. So just quickly in summary, our forums are not just meetings, but they're communities. So instead of, some of them meet 4 times a year, some 3 times a year, but we link up with our forum members on almost a daily basis or as needed basis. We're providing a vehicle for our members to learn new skills, address business challenges, of which of course there are many at the moment, develop those new and best practices, and network and share experiences. They are subscription based, but if you'd like to come along or take part virtually, as I should say now, then they're free to free for that first meeting. So, and then we'd be good to get your feedback. Okay, I think there's one more slide. So our take-home message is, please come along to your first forum virtually. Try it and see for free. A couple of meetings we are coming up shortly, just to let you know. 7th of April is our Credit Professionals Forum. 8th of April is our SAP User Group. And the 23rd of April is our IT Distributors and Resellers Forum. So there's 3 in April. All those details you can find on our website. So I think I'd now like to hand over to Ed, and hopefully the slide will come up. And he's going to take you through 7 tips for enhancing customer experience with AR automation. And as I said, don't forget, there is that chat button at the bottom. So if you've got any questions, please post them and we'll get to them at the end. Okay, over to you, Ed.
Great, thanks, Laurie. Good afternoon, everyone. For the next half an hour or so, I'm going to be talking about 7 tips that you could potentially use to enhance your customer experience by leveraging AR automation. That's me, just in case you want to put a face to a voice. I've been in the industry for quite a few years now. I've been with Esker for 14 years. And I've worked with a lot of clients to help them automate their order to cash and their purchase to pay cycles. So I'd like to think I know a little bit about it. I'm also a Spurs fan from my sins. I've been a season ticket holder for the last nearly 20 years now. So without further ado, we'll go into the presentation. I just wanted to start by saying that, after years of internal focus on reducing cost, companies are now looking outwardly and aiming to grow. They're looking to grow revenues, grow profitability, and grow market share. And a key objective that underpins all of this is to enhance the customer experience. After all, your most profitable customer is likely to be the one that is already doing business with you. There are key opportunities for AR to help achieve these objectives for growth. Once the sale is closed, it's probably AR that is often the most customer-facing part of the business. But the question is, how can you enhance the customer experience through the AR function? So make no mistake, AR has much further reaching consequences than just cash. Poorly run AR chips away at profitability, brand, and reputation. And it can reduce the value of your key customer accounts as frustration sets in with poor management of their invoices. It can lose your business and push prospects towards selecting competitor offerings if your process is not an easy one or you prove difficult to deal with. It can contribute to higher staff turnover as well, especially amongst sales. And all of these things will hit your bottom line, ending up with lower revenue and profit margins. So the first thing to establish really is we need to ask ourselves who our customers are and how do we serve them best. If we think about our counterparts in accounts payable, for example, and the pressures that they face, they've got invoices coming in from multiple suppliers and lots of different formats, and they're always looking for ways to process those invoices more quickly, more accurately, in a cost-effective way. So they're probably working in a very similar environment to people in your accounts receivable teams. So how can AR help alleviate these pressures? At the end of the day, what customers are after is a simplified invoice processing system. The ability to make payments quickly and easily. Yes, believe it or not, people actually do want to pay you faster. And they want to be able to take advantage of things like early payment discounts as well. So they're looking for ways to boost efficiency and productivity and strengthen those relationships with key suppliers. Supply chain disruption can be a tremendous problem for an organization. In the same way that you want to hang on to your key customers, they in turn want to retain their key suppliers. So if you can figure out ways to help your customer achieve these 4 goals, then there are going to be benefits for your company. AR automation can have a huge impact on your customer experience. So let me show you how. The first way you can improve your customer experience is to help your customers to streamline their AP operations. Your AR practices directly impact your customers' AP operations. I know we don't think about it a lot, but it's absolutely true. Automated AR solutions make it easy for your customers to receive, approve, and pay your invoices. And at the end of the day, that has benefits for you as well. One way to streamline your customers' AP operations is to allow them to receive invoices in formats that they prefer. That means via email, fax, EDI, or even paper. There are some challenges associated with these different payment types. We're all well versed in the issue of paper invoices, but we also know that it might not be optimal to send invoices via email or fax. What's really ideal is to send them electronically, and one invoicing format that is quickly gaining popularity is uploading invoices to your customer's AP portal, electronically delivered from your AR portal to their payment portal accurately and efficiently. So let me give you some tips on how you can drive e-invoicing adoption. First of all, you need a well-rounded plan. Just because you want to adopt 100% electronic invoicing, it doesn't mean that your customers are necessarily ready to switch to electronic invoicing or to learn a new process. They're busy people and they often are strapped for resources too. So to maintain a positive customer experience, it's important to support your customers' transition in their own time and at their own pace. I know you may think this sounds obvious, but it is important. Your e-invoicing initiative should only be kicked off when a comprehensive plan of attack has been created. And if you want to achieve success, your strategy should be focused on 3 core crucial areas. So you need to be clear on the requirements and expectations of your AR department. What are the goals and objectives of your managers and your supervisors? What are the needs of your customers? And don't be afraid to check in with your customers regularly to ensure that your plan is on track and will address their needs. Also, think about which customers you want to target as part of your e-invoicing plan. The 80-20 rule tends to apply here. So if you identify the 20% of your customers that generate 80% of your invoices and engage with these first, then that makes the most sense. Then if it's just a handful of these customers that adopt the e-invoicing, you'll still be making huge gains. The second step is to start an adoption campaign. Awareness is key when it comes to driving electronic invoicing adoption, and that means working to develop a campaign that is going to prompt action on the part of your customers. You could add an insert with all paper invoices highlighting the benefits of electronic invoicing to your customers. It does actually work, but remember to frame it in terms of their benefits. You could add some marketing blurb at the bottom of your invoices or emails, or even in a customer newsletter, counting the advantages of e-invoicing. Why not add a message to your email signatures with a link to sign up? The next step is to follow up and be proactive, but at the same time not to be too pushy. This is good advice. Your customers know when they get the same old sales pitch, so why not replace automated messages with one-to-one calls? Consider highly targeted emails rather than high-volume generic ones. And know when to throw in the towel. If a customer says no, know when to give up. If a customer says no, it's not the end of the world. With the 80-20 rule, there will still be opportunities to move the needle. Some customers may be resistant to change, The change of management could bring about a whole new approach. Handle rejection respectfully so that they'll be more open to electronic invoicing in the future. Over time, you will invariably find that adoption will go up. The next step is driving e-invoicing adoption. The next step to driving e-invoicing adoption is to be the educator. Customers, like everyone else, won't be moved to act unless they understand how it works and what's in it for them. So your task really is to educate them. Some customers may have some specific objectives or concerns that they are looking to address. Maybe they want to go green or have less paper in the organisation. Maybe they want to stop having to call you to track down invoices that have been lost. And this is a great opportunity to inform people of the benefits. It's green, it's paperless, it's less likely to be misrouted. I want you to focus your market messages on what's in it for the customer. Segment your customers and target your messages depending on what they need. And finally, consider charging a fee for those customers that simply won't move to e-invoicing. Yes, I know it sounds drastic, but if you've tried the carrot, then here's the stick. Let's face it, paper bills are expensive. So for customers that absolutely insist on receiving a paper bill, so for those companies, some companies have taken to charging for this service. This actually does work, and we've seen invoicing grow after a key decision maker in AP goes on holiday. Another manager spots the cost and questions its value. Lo and behold, on their return, the paper invoice suddenly isn't so important. Now, in the spirit of this webinar, there is a big caveat here. In ensuring a superior customer experience, I want you to consider when to give up the fight. If you think that this will negatively impact a relationship with a valued customer, then by all means do not charge a fee, but keep it in your back pocket as a tactic to increase adoption rates. One way you can enhance the customer experience is by making it as easy as possible for your customers to pay you. Believe it or not, many customers actually want to pay you faster, and AR automation can help by providing a suite of tools to facilitate easy, fast payment. Every company has heard a plethora of reasons why their customers are unable to pay on time. I'm sure all of you on the call will have heard at least one of these reasons before. But these are generic causes. To truly understand how you can better serve your customers, you will need to dig a little bit deeper. I'm sure many of you already feel that you have a solid idea why your customers are paying late, but having the hard data is critical. You may find reasons that you thought were rare are happening more frequently than you expected. You may find that there are reasons you didn't even know about until it was being tracked. Perhaps the most important reason of all is that by having this hard data, you can share with others, it becomes easier to make the changes in processes, to fix the issues and ensure that you get paid on time. When you stop and think about it, a relatively simple cause such as a missing PO number can have a huge impact on payment times, and it is an issue that can be quickly addressed with involvement from the right teams. One of the most common reasons for late payment is the customer never received the invoice. I'm sure we've all heard that one before. With e-invoicing, you can send and track invoices in real time. Your customers can initiate the payment process straight away. Undelivered invoices will trigger a bounce, and you can track receipt of the invoices and also if the invoices have been opened or not. These things will benefit your customer as well as benefiting you. In addition, once the invoice is delivered, AR automation can send automated payment reminders, replacing the need for time-consuming calls and emails. Customers can be routinely reminded with automated reminders every 5, 10, 15 days past due, whenever you need to, and this saves time and allows your team to focus their efforts on areas it is needed most. And think about this, how good would it be if when your customer got the payment reminder, they could simply click on a link to take them directly into a self-service portal where they can view and download their invoice, view their open and past due invoices, and actually pay for them right from the portal. So without anyone in your AR team lifting a finger, the customer is reminded of past due invoices, they can view the invoice information, and they can make payment without taking one extra second out of your team's day. Everything we are talking about is just making it easier for your customer to pay you more quickly, and while at the same time improving your customer experience with them. So let's think about the way that we as customers, as consumers, interact with our service providers. We typically receive bills electronically, we pay them electronically, perhaps even automatically, perhaps even from a mobile device. And if we have any questions about our payment history, that information is at our fingertips. So with all that power available to consumers, we have to wonder why business interactions are so far behind the times. I mean, we issue our customers with paper invoices, which we find hard to track and trace, may or may not be accurate, and then we are unable to get our hands on the information we need. Well, we need to stop, because this is the year that customer experience is predicted to overtake price and product as the key differentiator of brands. And when you ask customers how they want to interact with you, 72% of them say they are looking for a self-service model rather than by phone or email, such as via an online self-service portal. They want to be able to access information, make payments, and initiate dialogue with you exactly when they want and from any location. And this is exactly what a self-service portal does. With a self-service portal, all of the information you and your customer needs is available on demand and in a secure environment. If this reduces inbox clutter, it gets you off the phone, it keeps your documents in a single accessible location. And the great thing is it's free for them to use. They can easily view invoices as well as credits. It also makes it easy for them to pay online, either via BACS or a credit card. And it allows customers to more easily communicate with you. We all know paying open invoice is the most important thing here. And with access to a portal, your customer can access and pay securely at any time, at any location. When your staff are communicating with your customers, it's imperative that they feel they are dealing with someone who is responsive, knowledgeable, and trustworthy, and that they are getting great advice. They should get a great experience, but also feel that they can trust that person, and they can work with them to get help and ask questions and get sound advice. If customers don't feel that they can work with members in your AR team, that they are helpful and useful and responsive, then they will be less likely to engage with you. Issues and disputes will drag on for longer, and the bottom line is that invoices will be delayed in getting paid. It's not good for the business, and they will feel a poor level of customer experience. A company's brand and image and reputation are extremely valuable. With proliferation of internet and social media, they are one of the first things to take a hit when a company delivers a poor customer experience. We've touched on a number of ways that automation can help build trust between your team and your customers, but here are a few key points. A big one is that your staff can get on top of issues proactively, nipping issues in the bud before they become bigger problems. It's so appreciated when people go out of their way to draw awareness to a potential problem, and in turn you are more likely to work quickly to address it. Very few things can erode trust more quickly than a simple mistake. Even small things like typing the wrong invoice number or amount due in a payment reminder email. With automated payment reminders, not only are communications issued to all of your customers proactively, but you can be assured that the data will always be correct and accurate. As your staff learn all the automation data that they have at their disposal and the KPIs and the reporting at the tips of their fingers, they will become empowered and confident working with and helping customers to resolve issues. When your staff have the competence, knowledge and tool set available to them, it will do nothing but give your customers a great experience of working with them, which again will help you to get paid more quickly. One place that staff really need to earn customer trust is with dispute resolution. Now, disputed invoices will happen from time to time. It's inevitable. All companies have to deal with them. But how you resolve those disputes says a lot about your company. Avoid being labelled by your customers as disorganised and not being easy to deal with. In a paper-based environment, your team may rely on multiple back and forth emails and phone calls to resolve issues. Automated AR solutions enable them to collaborate with customers electronically on all invoice disputes. Stakeholders can share supplemental information such as POs or bills awaiting or exchange messages, eliminating back and forth emails and phone calls. This approach reduces the time required to resolve disputes, whilst also providing your team with a complete audit trail for each interaction. If your customer simply hits the dispute invoice button from the self-service portal, they can then add all the key information and documentation that relates to that dispute. Someone in your team gets an instant notification, and now they can view all the data and act on it right away. And also having the ability to show on a dashboard all the invoices that are currently disputed and assign tasks to who should be working on them. All this gives you much greater visibility on what tasks have been completed and how long tasks have been open. So basically, you're getting complete visibility into what is going on and what is being done about it. Nothing falls through the cracks, no disputes are forgotten or written off. At the heart of all this is making sure that disputes are worked on and followed up in a timely manner, which all goes back to keeping the trust of the customer and giving them a great customer experience. And it's not just disputes that can benefit from better visibility. You want to back up your decisions with data. In many cases in AR, our decision making can seem more of an art and less of a science. With AR automation, you can make decisions backed up with data that provide actionable insights that help you make smarter, faster decisions, and this will help the experience that you provide your customers. One area that we see this in practice is in credit management. We know that many of our customers are making purchases on credit, but when it comes to negotiating limits, terms, and extensions, we are doing it on knowledge and guesswork and using formulas that may or may not be robust enough for today's business environment. Well, an automated AR solution provides us with tools and data to make better decisions, not just in credit management, but across the AR cycle. You are now able to have relevant information at your fingertips so credit professionals can make better decisions about customers and be more transparent with customers about how those decisions were made, which will boost trust between you and your customers. With an AR solution, you will have better visibility of your customers that are approaching their credit limits, so you can now be proactive about making customers aware of this, instead of customers wondering where their critical orders are and calling in and finding out that their order wasn't shipped as they were over their credit limit. You also now have complete audit trails across every touch point in the billing process. This allows us to have greater accountability of who did what, when and where, and help to get to the root cause of problems and ensure accuracy when we are that we were talking about earlier. You want to use automation to help you aggregate all the data into one place. So you will have access to all the customer related documents. You'll have a visibility of the current business situation, ensure you have a handle on the real credit exposure for that client. And also you'll have visibility of all your customers' KPIs as well. And the seventh and final strategy for using AR automation is to enhance the customer experience, is to try and give them peace of mind. We all know that complying with international legislation and regulation is a challenge for customers who cannot properly store electronic invoices. If you have customers that work with you across multiple geographic regions, then the challenge is especially daunting. Because we live in a global economy, understanding the restrictions on e-invoicing is a must for both the country of origin and the recipient country. And if you're using a decentralized e-invoicing system with lots of moving parts, or you have customers that lack the capacity to properly store those invoices, then it's probably time for an update. You can use automation to help streamline the compliance process to make it less burdensome for you and your customers. So when you're evaluating solutions, things you need to look for are, can you handle e-signatures and certificates? Is there a portal available to validate those signatures? Is there secure and long-term archiving available within the solution? And is that solution interoperable with existing and multiple systems? If you take these 4 features, you can help ease your customers' burden of staying on top of e-invoicing legislation. Peace of mind isn't just limited to e-invoicing. AR automation can give peace of mind that other important tasks aren't slipping through the cracks. You know your past due customers are being followed up. There will never be an issue where a customer is shocked to learn an order is held due to outstanding balances, and your organisation is sending invoices correctly worldwide and not facing large fines due to non-compliance. And peace of mind for your customer that if a payment slips or they realise they lost an invoice, with just a few clicks, they can easily pay or get invoices from the portal. So in conclusion, happy customers that find it easy to do business with you and easy to pay you are more likely to pay on time, more likely to want to continue doing business with you, and actually to grow their business with you in the future. So that concludes the presentation. I think we've allotted some time to answer any questions that you might have.
Thanks very much indeed, Ed. I think, yeah, we have. We've got a couple of questions here for you. And so first one is, if you're ready, is there a way to guarantee that 100% of our invoices, so the requesters' invoices, can be tracked?
Right, okay. Unfortunately, if you're sending invoices via post or email, there isn't a surefire way of guaranteeing that invoice has been received. But the great benefit of having a portal is you can actually see a customer has received that invoice and that it's actually been opened as well. So when the customer says, you know, we haven't received the invoice, you might not want to call them out on it, but you can definitely guarantee that they've received it. And just with a mouse click, you can resend them a copy invoice. So in short, we can only really guarantee the invoice has been received if they're being sent via the portal.
Okay. Right. The next one is, I like the idea of automated customer follow-ups. Don't want to frequently contact customers with a good track record of paying. Is there a way I can communicate with customers according to payment behaviour? So presumably only contact the baddies and not the goodies.
Yeah, I mean, with a good AR solution, you can select different strategies for different types of customer. So with our solution, we have strategies that allow customers to be segmented by many parameters. For example, payment behavior, strategic importance or value, and then communications can be personalized to each segment. And that can be done based on timing, frequency, and even the tone can all be set according to the type of customer. So yes, you would have a different strategy for good payers and a different strategy for late payers as well.
I'm going to apologise for if you pick up any noise in the background. We've got some people working in the road doing some tarmacking, so
Right, okay.
very bad timing. Right, two more questions here. Can Esker be integrated with, it said, our ERP system? So I don't know which ERP system that is, but
yeah, I mean, one of the great things about our solution is that it's designed to be ERP agnostic. So as long as there's a way of passing and receiving electronic files, we can pretty much integrate with any ERP system. You know, we've got customers that use SAP, Oracle, JD Edwards. So I've yet to come across an ERP system that we couldn't integrate with.
turn this back on, but I apologise. We're getting lots of questions here, Ed. So
okay,
all at the wrong time. So okay. Is there a better way to deal with AP departments working remote payments? Sorry, being remote due to the COVID-19 virus without seeming insensitive to the issue. So I'm not sure I've read that particularly well with the noise in the background.
I think
did you get that, or do you want to?
Is there a better way to deal with AP departments that are working remotely because of the coronavirus? Is that right? Hello?
Sorry, can you say again?
Sorry, I said, was the question, is there a better way of working with AP departments that are working remotely because of the coronavirus?
I've just stuck some headphones in to see if I can get rid of the noise. I'm sorry about that. Should we go to the next question?
Sorry, could you say the question again, Laurie? I didn't quite.
Okay. Can you speak again, Ed, please?
Sorry, I think we got cross purposes here.
It's all right. I've got you a lot louder now, so I can't. It's drowning out the noise behind me.
Could you repeat that last question, Laurie?
Yeah, with pleasure. Is there a better way to deal with AP departments who are working remotely due to the COVID-19 virus without seeming insensitive to the issue?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's topical. It's topical.
I mean, to be honest, because you know our solution's a cloud-based solution, you know, whether people are working remotely or in an office environment, I'm not sure how that would change things that dramatically. I'm not. I mean, obviously, because of the nature of the coronavirus, it's probably best practice to have a more understanding tone, I guess, and have a bit more allowance for AP departments and during these difficult times. But that's as much as I can say on that. Really, I could just see the system working as normal, really, even if they are having to work remotely.
Right. Okay. I've got for that first question, which talked about Esker be integrated with that ERP system.
Yeah.
The ERP system is Winman.
Winman. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, we really don't mind what the ERP system is. Basically, for the system to work, we just need to set up a feed from showing us your open AR, basically. So there's a relatively light integration required. But yeah, as long as, I mean, most modern day ERP systems have a way of passing and receiving electronic files. So I don't see that being a problem at all. We probably need to have IT people need to speak to your IT people about how best to set that integration up, but it shouldn't be an onerous task.
Okay, and I think the last one here is what about customers who have their own portals or EDI requirements? Can it be integrated?
Yeah, I mean, we have experience of actually loading invoices directly onto customers' AP portals. We've actually done some robotic process automation to automate that task, because it's quite a repetitive and time-consuming, laborious task. But we also have an EDI division within Esker called Esker EDI Services. So we have a lot of in-house expertise on EDI. So yeah, we're able to deliver outbound invoices in the required formats. We have partnerships with lots of EDI partners, and we also support all the different formats that are commonly available on the market. So yeah, we can definitely support you from an EDI perspective.
Okay. Well, I think the noise has stopped for a second. So I think we probably should wrap it up there. But just to say, I think I was given a note here that Esker would like to send a link out to everybody that did participate today anyway. So which we'll do, and then if then people can then contact you directly if they want any more information. Is that right, Ed?
Yeah, if there are any further questions, just drop us a line and we'll be happy to answer them.
Okay, right, thank you very much. So I think I'm going to try and go back to my slide if we can. There we go. Right, so as I say, just apologies for that noise in the background. It was going to be Murphy's Law that we were going to they're going to do the road right while we were in the middle of the webinar. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. And as I say, it has been recorded, so it will be available for you. And also Esker will send you a link as well. So if you want any more information regarding Formers International, please go onto our website. And we have more webinars coming up and virtual meetings coming up on a regular basis over the next few weeks and months. So hopefully we'll interact with you or see you again in the future. So thank you very much. And Ed, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome. Thank you.